It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. The agenda tonight, and ew, I am in wide fisheye mode. The agenda for tonight is measuring the for the motor mounts. This thing keeps losing pressure, no surprise, which means that this was kind of a slant 4 when I came out here. But now it is perfectly level. And I've tried centering this based on that. And it's close at the moment, but not quite. Maybe I can shimmy this over a little bit more, jack it up and whatnot. And also what I found out is you can wing it. It's not as big of a deal as you think. For this side, it's kind of a truss that goes over. My backlight cuts out at the most opportune times. Yeah, there. It's kind of a truss there that will go across from the mounting point on the body and the mounting point on the block. It's going to be kind of overdone kind of a thing. This thing on this side is going to be a hell of a lot harder. And you know what? Why don't I get a flashlight so I could show you what I mean? We are back in regular mode. So, the truss on this side will be kind of just an attachment on the block, an attachment on the stock mounting point. It'll be a little off, but not too bad. And just kind of this truss going over to the bolt. It'll be kind of, there'll be a plate, and then kind of you'll maneuver over to probably about here, and then it'll cross over. Just a wide plate on the block that will be bolted. And because there's so many bolts down there, I might as well take advantage of the amount of bolts bolted in more places for added safety. This is gonna be so damn secure you won't even believe it. Let's go under the Tomo and show you this ridiculous positioning. So, there, between that support piece for the intake and the starter motor is where the motor mount should go. The thing on the left is the stock mounting point. It's going to be kind of weird. It's going to be like, that motor mount that is going to be put there, and we've decided on the Miata motor mount because it's a little more serviceable in that it's going to be more available across time. That's going to be like holding on to this motor like you would hold on to somebody over a cliff. It's just the weirdest, and I'm not sure if it's not designed to really do that. So we'll have that, and then we'll have another piece further down on this tower here that will be below the motor mount on the block, and we will use both Miata motor mount elements for that piece. It'll have 2 motor mounts on the passenger side. It'll be very secure. But it's just kind of by virtue of kind of force and just kind of how weirdly this engine sits in here. I mean, the advice I've gotten from other CB2 Capella owners is to just wing it as you may, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to wing it with extra safety, I suppose. So that is that. And look, my fluorescent light to the right decided to turn back on again. The other thing, which is under the car, is, of course, the flange for the drive shaft, which looks like this, except with a shroud over it. I could actually... Why don't I just dip under the car and show you what I mean? So, that. Why don't I get intimate like? So you see on the right is the transmission. On the left is kind of a shroud for the drive shaft. That is more or less where the drive shaft would connect stock to the transmission. It's connected, but it's sticking out of the transmission a little bit. I have talked with other CB2 owners. It's supposed to do that a little bit from the factory anyway. It's never completely and totally secured to the transmission anyway. So it's basically fine to leave it as is and not go through what I had planned on going through, which was cut a little bit of the Miata's cut a little bit of this piece off and extend the drive shaft with that. I suppose I could if I really wanted to, but it's not necessary. So I'm just going to leave it as is until such a time that something terrible happens, and indeed I need to do that. But yeah, it's as far as I know, it's fine. So yes, let's get to tonight's program, which is measuring for that. I can hardly wait. So I spent the day looking at another car because I'm an addict. That aside, wow, Clay has been busy behind me back. Can't say I mind. So this is the skeletal form for the driver's side motor mount, and he drilled some holes there for the plate for the block. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. But yes, we shall finish that all off tomorrow, and also tackle the passenger side of the motor mount, or the motor mounts on the passenger side, as the case may be. Pretty wild, man. It's actually still holding itself up pretty well. Aesthetic. Neat. Much has been quiet around the car lab, but I, totally off camera, pushed into some POR 15, which is dried nicely. Oh my stars, I'm going to have fun trying to get that off of that piece of paper. Yes, so I originally intended just to try it out and put the goop on the edge of this. Excuse me. Then I realized, oh yeah, I poured way the hell too much of that goop out. So I went mad. And I put some there, some there, some on the other side of that, and a few other places here and there and elsewhere. And then threw the majority of it away, which was fun. Oh well, but at least I know that now I know that this is no worries. This I think is a ripoff, and this you don't need a whole lot of this to cover your rust. But That aside, frightfully busy on this here motor mount. It's beautiful, man. Now that's solid as a fucking rock, that is. And with that, I can put the grill back on. The fire time. But yes, it's quite simple, really. You have these 4 screws. And, that's that one. No. That's that one. And there's that one. And that's how it goes on. My car earned these badges, I assure you.
Enough room on the side of it where I could put a bolt or 2 through it. So just the general shape of that, I'm thinking, yeah, I can get it over here the same way. New development.
Yes. So, you and I have both kind of hashed this over and discovered and talked. This tower for the motor mount is too tall. The Miata's motor mount will barely fit in there, but the reality of the matter is,
you can't even do an oil change.
Yeah, I have an oil filter, which is right there. Just take my word for it. Lots of black things in the dark. The oil filter is right there, just under this bit of the intake manifold. It's like virtually, it is theoretically possible for us to fabricate a metal piece that will go from where the motor mount bolts on the block to where this little tower is, the cross member tower. It's theoretically possible to do that. It's incredibly tight down there between the starter motor and the oil filter. So, it would be there, and then there would be no way for me to access the oil filter without... Actually, I was thinking, without taking the intake manifold off. I think I could do it if I took the alternator off, which is a little easier than the intake manifold, if I'm going to be honest. But, still, that is royal pain in the ass on the making, by the looks of it. And there's even this, actually, I take that back. Again, there's this piece, which is a aluminum stability bar, looks like, that the intake manifold bolts to, which would be blocking my access from there. So, what we've come up with is this tower is too tall. And our plan is to cut into it because, even though you can't really make it out, the tower, the metal part of the tower goes all the way to the bottom of the cross member, but it stops on the inside. So we're thinking, if we cut however many inches, if we were just to do a straight cut along the bottom of that tower, and then move it down about 3 inches, or however many inches we need, then bolt the plate to the other plate, drill holes, and then tack weld it just for grins. The bolts are going to be holding it into place. That should work. And part of our problem is, of course, yes, we've got a welder, but I don't know how much mobile equipment he has. I don't want to tow my dead car down there.
In other news,
we have that. Is that fitting?
It's pretty snug.
That's beautiful. I mean, we also have we haven't quite let this thing sit under its own weight just yet, so we don't know how much that's going to squish down.
I looked under there, and I imagine there's not going to be a whole lot of wiggle room where it's going to have to sag. It should be pretty tight.
Mm-hmm.
It is a thick piece of rubber. It's really only absorbing the engine vibrations. It's not going to sag too much like a balloon. But everything should be pretty well out of the way, even if it wanted to sag. So nothing's going to get hit. That pulley and the steering rack, that's my biggest concern. Don't know how it's going to be when the car is actually steering. But
it should be
know,
fine.
we'll find out, won't we?
No, that was by far the easier one.
Definitely.
By fucking a mile.
Still took a second, you know, I had to kind of get this angle right.
Yeah.
And then I cut it to a certain length, and it was too short, too much wiggle room. We didn't document how this thing sat on its mount, or what angle it was on Tomo's original engine, so just kind of working with what we got.
Well, Tomo's original, it was just very different, and it had the block mounted motor mounts went with the engine. So.
I mean the angle here.
Oh yeah.
We didn't document that, but so I put a little, almost a half-inch, 3/4-inch shim in there. Tack welded that in there, and that's going to Joe. So
yes, we're gonna
weld it.
Yeah, bring it to our real welder. I mean, you are a real welder, but you know,
I have a $70 piece of crap.
Yes,
gets the job done half the time.
I mean, you know, it's effectively you've glued together the metal so that he knows to properly.
That is where it should go.
Glue metaphor.
He can clean it up as much as he wants, but that is how it's going to be.
Well, that's lovely. We have one done. It's just the abject pain in the ass is now.
It looks very janky and Mad Max, but that's
the spirit of it. I think will blast it and get the rust off, and then I think
the general construction of the damn thing.
Well, that's how the other guy had it. I mean, and honestly, I like it. It looks mean, and it looks like it's going to support an engine.
It works.
It will support an engine when it has been professionally welded.
Yes.
But yeah, well done, Clay. I can't thank you enough.
The weight of this engine on those welds.
No. Oh, for fuck's sake, no. Are you out of your mind? No.
I did cake that shit on there to make sure it
looks
stayed.
Like it.
I tried tack welding it and it wouldn't stay. It just broke off every time. I'm like, okay, fucker. So grind it off if I need to do adjustments, but it looks okay.
It's beautiful.
One side is done.
Yes, the easy part.
Lots of modification over there now.
Yeah, it's yeah, there's still a fair bit to do. It's fine. This is fine. I should probably mention as well, before I send this off, that the piece that is connected to the block is just a straight rectangular plate. We did that because, well, we had the room. On the passenger side, we do not have that room. So a more sophisticated cut for that plate will be needed. But for the driver's side, it was just like, eh. Our welder does amazing work. I didn't ask him to paint it, but he painted it anyway. Which is really just a wonderful bonus. Yeah. This will do very nicely indeed. Of course, it's the easy side of the engine. This is. The hard side is forthcoming. I can't believe you haven't seen it before.
Well, I built it, but he kind of,
he made it
party better.
Yeah, he did.
Now that's the weld that I'd like to be able to do.
Yeah, indeed. That is substantial.
Beautiful.
So the plan...
Garbage from a sawmill. Be like...
Steel. American steel. Iron atoms mined on the American continent. So yeah, we have that. So we can so our plan is to shimmy the engine over so that we can better see what we're doing. Yeah. For the motor mount on this side. I do have a plan for the oil filter. I'm just going to use a relocation kit, many of which are available, but I found one that has a facility for a sender, so I can run this analog classic fuel oil pressure. Yeah, there's an oil pressure gauge as part of this classic, tri-gauge item. And so yeah, that is forthcoming. I'm kind of deciding where I would mount the oil filter, probably there, because we're not going to have that be there in any case. And yeah, just to get that going. Be careful. And yeah, it's been a while since we worked on the car because of life, but you know what? We're working on it now. Also, you really do need to do two coats of PR15 because you want it glossy, not matte. The conclusion we came to is, oops, let me not get stabbed by metal bits. This piece, which came from there, is not going to line up easily with the motor mount from the Miata, which we have reattached to the block of this engine. The reason why we're using that piece is simply because there is virtually no wiggle room down there. So, and I suspect Clay, and I don't blame him, I suspect Clay doesn't want to cut a entirely new plate and then fashion something from that. The other part of the matter, of course, is, okay, if we do the truss thing like we did on the other side, we need, some wiggle room to, mount the truss on the plate, which we just don't have down there. It's very tight. So, our original plan was to try and cut this, move it down, bolt it to the bottom of that tower there, and then mount the Miata's motor mount there. That's not going to work. So instead, we're going to cut that tower down until it aligns with this angle. This angle here. Till it aligns with that angle. We're going to put a steel plate with two pieces on the side, if you will. That's what the motor mount is going to attach to. And from there, that plate is going to bolt to the tower so that we have a connection. The bolt for the motor mount is going to be off kilter, and it's going to be kind of a weird looking piece, but it will work. My brother has been concerned about using just a steel plate to kind of hold this together, especially when we cut down that chalk tower and it becomes less structurally rigid. But I keep telling him, it's like, look, we have thick steel to work with, thicker than stock, way thicker than stock. I think it'll be okay. I just cut myself. That's nice. And yeah, so those two trusses that are going to attach to the, and as you can see, also the tower is at an angle. One side is relatively straight with the cross member, and one side is at an angle. So those trusses, customized, are going to be welded on. Yeah, it's going to be a weird looking piece, but I think it will work given how thick that steel is. And that's where we're at today. I still have to do a lot of PR15. Miata update. Yes, Miata update. After a mere many months of it being on the market, nobody wants this thing. I don't necessarily blame them, because it really is a piece of shit. But I had assumed that somebody would be looking for a sled to throw a V8 or something like that into, but I guess not. So I found somebody finally who was interested in the rear diff. That's what I'm going to do today, is remove the rear diff, or rather the diff, because they don't got no front diff. And then some miscellaneous pieces from the rest of the auto. That's just, It's unfortunate that it's just going to go to the junkyard after this, after I remove some other choice items, like the wheels and this roll bar.
It's not just going to the junkyard, it's getting smelted down.
Yes, it's getting freaking melted after this, which is unfortunate, but whatever. It's not like there's a shortage of little red Miatas, right? With the diff and other assorted goodies going to new home, this is the final state of the Miata. Just a frickin' junk pile. Tow truck is gonna come early next week to take it away, but I am keeping the wheels. This roll bar, which may in fact not be worth a damn, but you know, I don't care. And of course, these, because they're actually quite easy to get out. But yes, it's been real good to me in that it's provided my car with a chance at life. Although if I'm honest, if I keep forgetting to pump up the engine hoist while it's sitting and we're doing things, that crank pulley is going to bend irreparably, which is a worry because that's what these things are. It's just a thing for Miata engines of this vintage. Yeah, that is a worry.